Okay, the possible spread of this conflict is impacting the economies of neighboring countries. To discuss this further, we're joined by Edmund Ghareeb. He's an academic and expert on many facets of the Middle East region. Always good to see you. Thanks very much for taking time to chat with us.
Good to be with you.
To begin, give our viewers just a quick thumbnail sketch of the players. There's a huge difference between Hezbollah and Hamas. Now, for those not familiar with the ins and outs of the conflict, let's be clear. Hezbollah has really transformed itself and is a regional power.
There's no doubt about that. I think Hezbollah has, over the recent years, have increased their military capabilities. They have benefited also from participating in some of the regional conflicts, particularly in Syria, where a number of fighters from Hezbollah have fought there against ISIS and other radical Islamist groups. So that was one of the areas where they have benefited. They have also, I think, learned as well to develop some of their military capabilities and to have also established close ties with some of the other organizations in the region, such as the Al-Hashd al-Sha'bi, or the Popular Forces in Iraq, and also with the Houthis in Yemen, in addition to establishing a close relationship with Hamas. And they also probably get some support from Iran as well.
Okay, so let's now kind of focus on Gaza. How has the Gaza conflict impacted Lebanon's already fragile economy, especially in sectors such as trade and tourism, because its economy reportedly already has contracted by about 25%?
There's no doubt that this Gaza conflict has really hurt the economy of Lebanon. The danger of escalation in the area has already left a tremendous impact. For example, over just the past 4 months in Lebanon, the number of passengers, tourists coming to the Beirut airport dropped by 23%. There are, for example, among the continued fighting, there has yet to be a real assessment of the conflict. But there's no doubt that that conflict has affected the Lebanese economy in a tremendous way. First of all, the attacks on the south, which have forced over at least 100,000 people, and now the numbers probably have doubled or getting close to being doubled over the recent escalations that we have seen over the past couple of weeks.
Right.
In addition to that, we have also seen that a number of tourists who used to come to Lebanon are no longer coming, and many who had gone there have left the country. And that also is leaving a tremendous impact on the economy of a fragile, very fragile economy, and a country that has been torn by political conflicts as well as economic ones, and corruption as well over the past few years.
Edward, you really did a good job of outlining the impact on the infrastructure in the southern part of that country. Let's talk a bit about Lebanon's ability to continue to attract foreign investment or secure international aid, because reports indicate Lebanon is still getting significant amount of foreign investment despite the prospect of a full-blown war.
There's no doubt about that also. I think there are, again, Lebanon has supporters overseas. There are many Lebanese immigrants, for example. They have in the past invested in Lebanon and the Lebanese economy. There was a big problem that affected some of that when the crisis of the central bank. But nevertheless, Lebanese immigrants continue to contribute money to their relatives in Lebanon, and Lebanese immigrants are all over the world, from Latin America to Asia to the United States to Europe, and many of them are well off, and they have contributed to the country and to their relatives. Otherwise, Lebanon the situation would have been disastrous. And it is, and very close to it, in fact, but this has helped.
Okay, Edmund, what are some of the long-term economic risks for Lebanon as we move forward? If this conflict within Israel escalates, say, if Israel does initiate a ground invasion?
I think the investment sector is likely to suffer to a certain extent. Real estate transactions have suffered 40% decline. At the same time, you have there was an economic report that said Lebanon lost something like 30%. There was a 30% loss in foreign direct investment. At the same time, in addition to all of this, you also have the large number of refugees.
Right.
Lebanon has about 2.25 million Syrian refugees in a country that's 4.5 million people. You have about 500,000 Palestinian refugees. So all of this is going to leave a tremendous impact on the economy of the country. And the agriculture sector has suffered recently, particularly in the south, as the Israelis have used phosphorus bombs, which are illegal. Nevertheless, the Israelis have been using them, maybe in the hope of, there have been reports that some Israeli analysts want to expel the Palestinians in the Galilee to Lebanon, and they want to force Lebanese people to move to the north of the Litani River. So all of this, I think, shows a very dangerous development. But Israel itself has suffered as well. Its high-tech economy has suffered because in the beginning it was because the military took a lot of the workers who used to work in high-tech, but more recently because of Israeli policies and the reaction internationally, there has been a withdrawal of investments. The high-tech has suffered badly, and I just saw a report that said they may lose about 400 billion over the next 5 years.